All right, questions for Marcus? Start with John Corrales.
Hey, Marcus, how does it feel being back out there? How's the calf, and when do you think you'll be ready to go?
Felt great. Today was my first day to really get out there and play 5-on-5 and contact and really press it to the limit to see. Felt really good. It was hard to really do stuff over the break, 5-on-5 and stuff like that. So like I said, today was the first day. It felt great. So they cleared me and said, if today went well, I'm probably most likely going to play tomorrow unless something changes. But as of right now, I will be playing and attending the game tomorrow.
Keith Smith.
Hey, Marcus. While you've been out, the team has struggled some defensively. How hard is that for you to see that end of the floor be a problem and not be able to help?
I think for anybody, that's sitting on the sideline, because of an injury or something that, that they can't control that stops them from playing, to look at, especially when you know how good of a defensive team we can be, that we are, and, how we come in and play against each other and practice every day and prepare. And then especially for me, being a defensive guy, it really is tough, but being able to sit over there, I have to, look at it a different perspective. When everybody else is looking at the negatives about it, I'm looking at the positives, the things that we can control and fix that are very fixable and controllable. And, what I have to do to bring back that energy on that defensive end for us.
David Aldridge.
Hey, Marcus. Tomorrow is a year since the league first shut down. I don't know if there's any way that you can kind of summarize what these last 12 months have been like, just to kind of deal with on the court, off the court. What do you miss the most about what the old normal, and what have you gotten used to with the new normal, I guess?
Unfortunately, for me, and I think I can speak for almost everybody, at least on this team and every player that's playing in the NBA, the fans, we miss that fan interaction, being able to go into a crowded gym, a crowded arena, and, you feel that presence when you walk in, the jitters that you get, that excitement that you get from those fans, being able to play in front of those. And on the back end, we've also got used to not playing with it. It's tough. It really is. They try to bring in and do as much as they can to replicate the things with the fake noise and the automated electronic noises and things like that from the fans, but it's just not the same. But we happen to get used to it, and this year, and for us, it's just been big time curveballs, and unfortunately, it's something that we have to deal with. But the NBA has done a great job of protecting us, and trying to do their best to protect us on and off the court, and trying to keep us as normalized as we can. So definitely something that I think we would love to get back to as the fans. It's something that we miss, but it's also something we have definitely got used to.
Adam Himmelsbach.
Hey, Marcus, I know you said you couldn't play 5-on-5 really over the break, but what kind of things were you able to do, and how helpful was it to have this last week kind of away from the games to just focus on yourself? And also with this injury, sometimes there can be a risk of recurrence. How are you able to kind of put that aside mentally and when you take those steps, not think about this and not think about your calf and just play the way you know how to play?
It has been tough, not being able to play 5-on-5. So, the things we've been doing is, I've been playing against the coach, like my player coach here, just one-on-one, trying their best to put me in positions, game-like positions to get ready. Been doing a lot of calf raises and strengthening the calf, and just really working on everything else to make sure that the rest of my body isn't compensating because of the calf, and making sure that, I continue to stay strong on both, not just my left calf, but the right one as well, and the rest of my body. And to have this last week to myself to really, get away from the team and focus on it has been huge. It's extra rest that I get, extra rehab and extra strengthening that I get to do for the calf. And as far as, not worrying about it, for me, it's always been like that, any type of injury I have, when you go in thinking about it and worrying about it, even though I understand, the repercussions that I have of probably, the reoccurrence of it. But you can't think like that, because once you start thinking like that, you start allowing that negativity to get in, that doubt, and things start going wrong for you. You have to trust your body. You have to trust the work that you're doing, and just go out there and do it, and just play. Everything will work itself out.
Jared Weiss.
Marcus, every player says that they want to play hard on defense and play consistently, but every time you've gone down in your career, the team has kind of struggled to maintain that intensity level and that consistency. So when you're on the sideline, what are you saying to your teammates to try to help them kind of take on the mentality that you take on?
I'm just challenging them, anything I can to motivate them. As competitors, you hate when guys call you out. You hate when guys tell you, for us, it's really, somebody, a guy that you're guarding is busting your butt, or he has this many points on you, or this or that. As competitors, you hate to hear that, and hopefully that gives the motivation to go out there and try to lock down on the defensive end. We're not going to say that everybody's going to go out there and be defensive player of the year, but we just want to see everybody go out there and give the effort to give us a chance. And when you play with effort, and all 5 guys on the court are playing with effort, it makes things a little bit easier on that defensive end to play and to get up. But defense isn't easy. That's why it's not a lot of people that can do it. That's why you don't see a lot of 3-and-D players in this league. Because it's not easy. It's hard. It's hard to sit down in that stance 15 seconds, 20 seconds and guard the best players in the world. And, it takes a special person to do it, but it takes a really, 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 really person that has the will and want to. Like I said, it's not easy. Not everybody can do it, but everybody could do it if they put their mind to it and put the effort in.
Amanda Pflugrad.
Hey, Marcus, you mentioned that effort, and now that you are back with the team, what are you wanting to see from this Celtics group and focus on for the second half of the season?
I just want us to forget about that first half, in the sense of, forget how we played. That's it's in the past. It's over. We get a fresh start in the second half, and we control the narrative. We come out, we get, like I said, an opportunity to come out and start fresh with the defense and kind of reinvent ourselves and identity-wise on that defensive end. And I just want to see my guys, play with the same intensity I have. I'm not saying you have to go out there and play the exact way I do. Just, excuse me, just the same intensity. That's all I ask for. And I think that's all this coaching staff asks for, because, when all five guys on the court and all 16, 17 guys are playing with that intensity when they're on the court, it makes a difference. This is it's a team game. So, if one guy is not doing what they're supposed to be doing, especially on the defensive end, it breaks down. So, we all work together. We're all tied to a string. So when one guy does something intensity-wise, everybody has to pick up on it and keep it going to continue to strive and become the defensive team that we know we can be, that we want to be, and that we should be.
Dan Roche.
Hey, Marcus, glad to hear you're feeling better. You were asked a little bit ago about, the 1-year anniversary of the shutdown and what have you. You, if anyone, can really, look back on this and say, wow, what you went through is maybe, kinds of shows everybody what they can go through. What has this year been like for you as you look back on it? How strange has it been? And what will you learn from it on the other side?
It's been a whirlwind. It's been a tornado type of year for us, not knowing if we can get in the gym at a certain time because we have to test, or testing come back, or waiting on test, or okay, you can't get in because somebody tested positive, or somebody was around somebody protocol. It's just all kinds of things that you have to worry about that in previous years you never have to worry about. And that's for everybody. So it's definitely been a tornado type of season for us this last year. And, but it allows us to sit back and really be thankful and really be aware of what's more important than just basketball. We kind of get caught up as athletes into our sport, into our profession, and we forget about other things that are more important than on the court. And that's, your family, social injustice, making sure that, everybody has the same equal rights and things like that.
Gary Washburn.
Hey, Marcus, it's one thing to sit out a month. You've missed time before the pandemic because you could go out, you could see your family, you could maybe travel back to Texas. You could do a lot of things when you were injured. But now you had a month of like staying at home probably and just rehabbing. What was that month like? Did you pick up a hobby? Did you read some books? What did you do to pass the time? Because you weren't always on the road with the team. What's this past month been like off the floor?
For me, it's been great. I got to spend more time with my family here in Boston at home. I got a new puppy. So, I'm a new puppy, a new dog dad as well. I got 2 dogs now. So, just really spending time with my family and things like that. And, doing the things that I love to do, taking time to myself during the season, usually, when everything was back to normal, it was hectic. Even when you were hurt, you still had things you had to do and prior arrangements that you had to adjust to. It's tough because now you can't go to a meeting or go do, a clinic or something like that you might possibly have done when everything was normal. You have a little bit more time to yourself. So, you get to more self-reflect. And like I said, focus on the things that are more important than just on the court spots.
Final 2 questions for Marcus. We'll go to Tim Bontemps.
Hey, Marcus, you talked a bunch about wanting to see your teammates play with the same intensity as you do. Obviously, that's a big part of your game. But as you watched the past few weeks when you weren't on the court, is that the biggest thing that you saw that was missing? And if not, like, what did you see from the team as it kind of had an up and down few weeks without you?
Yeah, I think many factors went into our downfall, especially on that defensive end. Fatigue for one. Not having all the players. I think for us, our starting group, me, Kemba, Jayson, and Jaylen only played, I think, 28 minutes together total over the whole course of the season. So, this season took a lot of bumps and bruises for us. Jayson was out with COVID. JB was out with the protocol. I'm out with my injury. Kemba with his injury. Romeo Langford's still out with his wrist just now coming back and things like that. So there's a lot of factors into it. But that's still no excuse for you to go out there and give the effort. And I think these guys know it. I think they feel it. They understand it. But like I said, it's a lot of factors that go into it. And at least we have the second half of the season to make up for it.
Final question, Brian Robb.
Hey, Marcus. First off, how do you feel like your conditioning is at this point? I know, obviously, a calf injury is probably a tough thing for you to, be where you want to be at from that standpoint. So do you think you'll be on a minutes limit to start on that front? And then also, how did Romeo look to you? I think he was supposed to practice today. How does it look for have him back on the court with you guys?
Definitely, it was definitely tough with the calf injury to definitely, try to replicate the conditioning level for in game. I definitely will be on a minute restriction starting off to come back and just, easing myself into it and to make sure we're taking all the right precautions to make sure that this doesn't happen again, which is expected for my win to be down a little bit, but being able to get into these games and get back into game shape by playing in the games will help. And with Romeo, he's been looking great. He's been putting in the work here day in, day out, and I know it sucks. He's been, 6 months since he played and been able to practice with us and things like that. That's tough, especially when he's the only one in the gym having to work by himself, seeing everybody else working together and doing things like that. But, he's dedicated himself to the work, and I think it's going to show off for him.
All right. Thanks for the time, Marcus. We'll wrap it up right there.
Thank you, guys.